We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 50 after Monday Night Raw?
Should WWE fans boycott the product? We are going to be talking about that and a lot more on today's episode of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. Good evening from Swansea wrestling fans. I am your host, Ben Allison, and joining me today to discuss all of this news in professional wrestling, we have Clark Taylor. Clark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy Wednesday. I'm stoked to be back. A lot going on this week. We had off the air yesterday. We had a fun mailbag. We got a news day today. We've got all kinds of good things to cover. It's a little weird. After last week, I went to like 3 different wrestling related events. I don't have any nighttime events to go to talk about in my intro. So I'm a little bit waffling here, Ben. Like, I'm not going to Raw. Mick Foley's not in town anymore.
We've run out of things to say.
Yeah,
not good.
UNW's not till next week.
Oh gosh, thankfully there is a lot of news, so we will not be short of topics today. A few comments out of the gates. Fernando Zayas, shout out to you. DCX Warlord saying happy National Hot Sauce Day, WR crew, and happy National American Football, the wrong football. Thank you for clarifying that, DCX Warlord. It is appreciated. Day.
You know what? We like all football here at WR, and even you can admit that.
I do. American football's a great sport. It's just not football.
When I'm referring to football, I have now. This is the worst part about this, Ben. So I've worked with you long enough, and I've embraced, as it would be called here, soccer, or as you would call it, football, and you've embraced American football. And now I have conversations with my buddies at home, and I say American football, and they look at me like I'm out of my mind. So I can't win anywhere. I can't win on any continent anymore. I'm wrong no matter where I'm at. If I say football or soccer with you guys, I lose. If my friends at home, if I say American football, I lose there too. I can't get a win.
It's a lose-lose for you over there, but right now, things are also a little bit of a lose-lose for WWE because they're not going well at all, are they? I'm going to go full screen for a second, right? Because should fans boycott WWE? Because a lot of fans on social media over the past 24, 48 hours have really started calling for it. But there's been rumors over the last few months that potentially something like this could happen. And there's 2 reasons for this, really. The first one, and the main one, is ticket prices. Ticket prices have become absolutely unbelievable. Just to attend a wrestling event, I mean, you're basically paying 4 figures. That is absolutely ridiculous. WrestleMania tickets, I think some of the cheapest ones were 4 figures. It is just, they're out of their minds. For so many years, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, Vince McMahon knew that wrestling was a family business. He knew that it was important that families could attend it together. Therefore, in the future, those kids would then take their kids to attend the events. It's a business which will work generation to generation. So even when the product's bad at times, long term it will be fine. Vince understood that. For all the issues he understood that. TKO have come in, they put the ticket prices up, and well, it's all gone very, very bad. And ticket sales are starting to go down. The second point here is Rich Holland. Because a lot of fans in the last 24 hours are really upset about this. Because he put out a statement and he said, yes, WWE released me while I'm injured. Yes, they offered to pay for my surgery during that time and recovery. But now I'm probably going to need another surgery, and on top of that, I have bills to pay, I have a mortgage to pay, and I can't have any income because I'm injured and my job is being a professional wrestler. So, I mean, look, it's nice of WWE to pay for his injury, but to be honest with you, they're only taking care of part of the injury, and even then, he can't live off that. Not just the injury cost. He's in a really sticky situation. So I'm going to be honest with you, I think how WWE have treated him, especially when he was injured in another promotion they asked him to work for, it is absolutely ridiculous, and it is straight up wrong. But now to the bigger question. Should fans boycott the company? I don't think they should boycott the company because I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure how much that does. But what I think fans should do is boycott tickets. I don't think fans, hardcore fans, should attend wrestling events for a bit. Say, hey TKO, your prices are too much, we're not going to pay. And if the hardcore fans do that, it will affect WWE. Not necessarily visually, because they still will sell tickets, but it's hardcore fans at those events who spend the big money on merchandise, on those big collectibles. That is how they make a lot of their money. So if people stop attending, very simply, they're going to lower it. It's supply and demand. It's not rocket science, and it would certainly work. So I don't think some big boycott needs to happen. I just think, yeah, if you think ticket sales are too much, don't go for a while. Don't blow a load of money you don't think you can afford or you don't think others should have to pay. Just don't go for a while. Clark, I want to get your take on this one. I'm really interested to hear your perspective.
This one's a hard one for me to answer, Ben, because the reality of the situation is I went to Raw in Anaheim last week. Right. And I paid the extravagant amount of money, not extravagant, but the higher price than I would have paid to go to Raw at the Honda Center in the past. I've been to multiple Raws and house shows and WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles at that building. I've been in that building a lot of times. And me, and shout out to my good friend Corey, we paid a pretty healthy price for our tickets. It wasn't the most electric Raw. We really did enjoy our time. I want to be very clear about that. I don't want to sound sour grapes at all. We had a very fun time attending the show. But some notes that I took when I was there was quite a bit of disappointment that nothing really huge happened on that card. There was a lot left to be desired. While it was a packed house, there was issues with merch selling out quickly. There was issues with no bags for merch. There were problems that I would say, as far as fan experience, could cause issues, especially given the high price tag. I also have to admit, I'm going to go to Survivor Series at Petco Park. I think that's one of the coolest baseball ballparks in America, in the world. One of the coolest venues, and I have to see it. But when it comes to the question, should fans boycott WWE? I don't stop watching the product, because I think us as pro wrestling fans, boycotting the WWE as a whole is just an extreme measure. But like you said, the idea of not necessarily going to events, I don't mind, or not necessarily buying the over-the-top expensive merch and collectibles for the time being until the ticket prices become reasonable again. Because the other factor here is it isn't just the WWE where ticket prices are starting to get inordinate. I mean, the Mick Foley ticket prices at the Improv were pretty high for a comedy show as well. And that's not a reflection of the WWE. That's separate from that. I also, when it comes to the Rich Holland thing, I've spoken quite a bit about that on off the air as well. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, Ben. That I'm more frustrated with than necessarily the ticket prices, because Raw was pretty packed. Now, those pictures that came out of SmackDown, and you talk about a place like Salt Lake City, a big city in Utah, a 20,000 seat arena, and you had tickets going for as low as $38 at the last minute there due to the lack of demand. I find that to be fascinating. So to your point, I think it is effective if fans just don't buy tickets, but go scoop up those $38 tickets and show that the demand is there for that, is what I would also say, just to be on the offensive, because I go back to my original thing that I said, you can't fully boycotting, stopping watching the product on television. It seems extreme. Can you really be a fan if you're like, I'm not going to watch till the ticket prices are low? Maybe I'm not going to go. But fully boycotting the WWE, I think, is one step too far. I do think maybe sort of scaling back money spent, but lining pockets of the WWE, that's the route to go, and we'll get the change that I think the industry is looking for.
I mean, I don't know if there's any comparison with this really with American sports, but at least here in the UK with football, what happens here is, let's say if fans aren't happy with the owners of a team or something like that, what they might do is they might say, okay, we're not going to buy anything from the club shop. We're not going to buy any shirts this year. Maybe we're going to attend games late or things like that. Certain things to basically embarrass the owners a little bit. I mean, look, would maybe that be a bad idea?
That is number one. It's hard to compare directly to American sports. There's things like that. You know, I think it happens actually more often with music in the United States.
Really?
You look at like a band that goes from having like their hardcore fan base to finger quotes mainstream. And you sort of see that, like an album comes out that's more studio album, a little bit less gritty than it was before. The hardcore fan base sort of turns on them, and you get like the bootleg old gear and things like that. I actually think that's probably a more direct comparison to answer that part of the question. But I love that. I actually think strategically, Ben, something of that nature where you're actually mocking the idea that you're being price gouged on tickets in real time, right? Whether it's showing up late, whether it's not buying merch, whether it's wearing bootleg merch, making signs.
Bootleg merch. I actually don't hate the sound of that, actually.
You know what I'm saying? Like, make your own merch then. And I kind of like things like that, signs. And that's very pro wrestling and gritty and like all of that in a cool way. But it also, in the long term, I think it does deliver the message that this is for families and for kids. The coolest thing that I saw at Monday Night Raw last week was the amount of kids. It wasn't even Halloween yet, right? It's that long ago. So many kids were dressed up as their favorite wrestler. We had a kid in our section in a Cody Rhodes robe, the full robe with the weight belt, everything about it. And then he had
I bet you were fuming seeing that. I bet you were booing that. You were in that kid's face.
No. All gimmicks aside, it was so sweet. He had like the neck tattoo painted on, and he was like, Ben, this kid was like this big, right? He was like, it was so wholesome, and I could not have been nicer. Like it was just awesome, right? It's exactly what you want out of pro wrestling. And then you had the same thing. His little best friend was head to toe fully Jey Uso.
Oh my god!
And they were just both sitting together and cheering for every moment of it. And that's what, to me, wrestling in the WWE is all about. At the end of the day, as much as we're critical of the product, as we should be, that's what we're here to do. On shows is express our opinions, whether they're negative or positive, right? But to me, that's what wrestling is all about. And if it takes a little bit of time where you see some more shows like what we saw in Utah, where the crowd's a little bit more empty and maybe there's a little bit of pushback, we can sort of restore balance and get more of what makes professional wrestling great in the first place. And it's things like that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And Podcast Grifter saying Salt Lake City suffered a little due to Halloween weekend. In previous years, they haven't suffered Halloween weekend. A lot of people have been bringing up that point, and it's why is it suddenly an issue this year? So that's a non-point to begin with.
I would argue honestly that it would be more enticing to go to WWE on a Friday Halloween and dress up, especially as an adult.
But it's the day after Halloween. Well, it wasn't on Halloween.
And this is where it's really interesting, because if we go to the precipice of the question, right? Talking about marketing to families versus marketing towards more adults and the hardcore fans that are going to spend a lot of money, a different clientele, right, is willing to pay for that kind of a ticket. Well, that clientele is the one that would go to a SmackDown on a Friday night and then go out after at 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
That's true.
That's who would. And the fact that crowd did not fill that building is telling in and of itself, right? When in relation to that crowd wasn't marketed to families, you'll miss trick-or-treating. And that's a good point. That's why no one showed up. Maybe.
Well, no, because that's the day before, though. The trick-or-treating's the day before.
Wait, no, the 31st is when trick-or-treating happens here.
Yeah. That was Thursday.
No, that was Friday. The first was Saturday and the second was Sunday. Because I went to Mick Foley on Sunday the 2nd.
Never mind. Ignore me. For some reason in my head, I thought that was the case. But anyway.
No, it was Halloween night.
But it is true. It's all their events at the minute, which are suffering a little bit. I mean, even Raw, where you went, Clark, there was empty sections too. I mean, it's a difficult one because people are bringing up the UFC price experiment, and that is a good point. That is what they're doing. They're trying to charge more like they did with UFC when they took over there. But there's a major difference. One, those UFC events, which they charge a lot for, are once a month usually, right? They have the odd fight nights.
And they're longer.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they're longer, but not only that. But I say that a lot of people don't turn up until the main cards anyway on those shows.
Which I've never understood in my life. Get your money's worth. Go see all 10 fights. If you go to a UFC fight, I don't respect you if you don't show up like when the doors open.
But the other factor with it as well is just they're two different audiences. They're more regular, and again, it's a bit of a younger crowd, WWE. There's a lot more kids in the crowd compared to a UFC event. And the reason for that is kids are very good at suspending their disbelief, whereas some adults can be, but others simply aren't. So therefore, UFC is generally more popular with adults, whereas in kids, WWE is miles more popular. And of course, there's kids who are UFC fans and vice versa. But as a general rule of thumb, that is the reason.
The other thing that I will add to this, Ben, when it comes to that with the WWE, in defense, because you mentioned that there were some empty sections at Raw. A lot of that is the construction on the Honda Center because of the Olympics.
Well, they isn't because they didn't sell out like 4,000 tickets.
No, I understand. There were certain sections that were more scattered, but the ones that were like empty are the ones they're doing construction on. I will say that the ones
it was a few thousand they didn't sell.
Yeah, the ones they didn't sell, you could see scattered on the opposite hard camera side, right? Like the not the hard camera side, the behind the hard camera, right?
Yeah.
But there was a few up in the rafters, like behind where the entrance ramp was, like in the top corner, where they're doing work on that pre the Olympics and stuff that's coming up. Because honestly, I did talk to a Honda Center employee about that, and he was like,
Clark loves this, by the way, guys. If you go to events with him, he'll just start chatting to the security people. To the
no. I have a friend that works at the Honda Center.
Okay.
This wasn't a rando.
I remember Supercard of Honor. No. One of the guys started trying to give you an inside scoop about something you thought was happening, and it was completely wrong as well.
No, he was talking about tickets to the UFC football. That was the funniest one. He was a guy.
Oh right, no.
Actually,
this was the one who was talking about somebody making an entrance through.
Oh yeah. That guy was just made something up.
He was convinced. He was dead
convinced. No, I came over and I was like, I don't think I'm buying it.
Oh gosh, but we will have to wait and see. I mean, Podcast Scripter says, who knows, WWE might go the route of a little bit of edgier content. They won't do that, and the reason they won't do that is because then networks are going to be way less interested in them. They're going to sell less merch because kids still make up a massive amount of their merch sales, and on top of that, if they go to some edgier content, I mean, they're going to struggle with some of these deals they have too.
Not
like
networks,
Saudi
Netflix.
Arabia will not be having some of that.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that. I would love it. I'd love to see WWE just go, you know what? Forget it. Let's do some wild stuff again. I think it'd be hilarious. Because guess what? As much as we just talked about like all the WWE's marketed towards kids and whatnot, I grew up in the middle of the Attitude Era, and my parents were either smart enough or just didn't care enough that I was able to watch it during that time when I was a kid.
Parents were a little bit more relaxed back then compared to now.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know. My parents are pretty strict about some other stuff. So like WWE, you just get away with. It's like you get a pass with pro wrestling.
Even my age, most of my year group wasn't allowed to watch WWE, and this was post-Attitude Era.
Wild. That's wild to me.
And that's only probably 10 years later.
See, I think that's probably like a late result of the Attitude Era. I think most parents, except my parents, both watched the Attitude Era with me.
Well, I think it was that the Benoit situation did not help anything at all. No, like that really emphasized things in the media.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
especially for your age group.
Yeah,
that was probably the freshest thing in everyone's mind. Yeah, that changes
like 3 years earlier. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page there. I see you.
Yeah, but up next, guys, we need to get on to another topic, which I think is going to be a little bit controversial. We need to talk about if the graphic will change. This actually isn't on me today, guys.
Thanks a lot, StreamYard. Sorry, we love you guys.
Any chance you could try showing it, Clark?
Which one is it?
Number 3.
It's the photo.
No, not the photo. It's
Where?
number 3.
Wait, the Sydney Sweeney?
No, sorry, it is the photo. I thought you meant the literal photo.
Yeah, it says there's the one that says untitled design. I can't see the photo. Where's
no,
it at?
it's 3 Nov 5.
Is it in the what section of the StreamYard is it in? Give me the inside.
You know
baseball.
what, guys? I reckon what's happened here is it's not really uploaded, and it's telling me it's uploaded.
It's not
so we'll
this one,
reload
right?
it in. No, we're good. We're here. We fixed it. We fixed it. We're good.
Did I get
It
it?
froze on us. No, it's not. This is what we're talking about, though. So we will be getting into that in just one
Okay.
second.
That's amazing.
We're having a mare of a day technology-wise.
Thanks a
guys,
lot,
honestly.
full moon. It's throwing all the tech off.
It's an absolute joke. But anyway, guys, we need to talk about this WWE AEW photo debate thing, right? Because after Saturday night's main event, Jade Cargill, CM Punk, Ricky Saints, and Cody Rhodes posted this photograph together, and the internet, well, it has simply gone absolutely wild about it. It's created the tribalism argument, I mean, basically of the decade. It is just absolutely ridiculous. People are saying that it's a massive AEW diss. Other people are saying that, hey, it's showing how far AEW stars can go. I'm going to be honest. I look at this photo right here, and I just think to myself, they're 4 friends who have had a shared journey, and now they are happy together with championship gold. I don't think it has to go much deeper than this. But then, I believe it was Swerve Strickland posted a photo of him, Will Ospreay, and Hangman Page immediately following it. And it was like, yeah, this is going to be World War III, isn't it? Clark, I want to get your thoughts on this one.
I think it is so on brand for Cody Rhodes, Mr. Petty. And same with Ricky Saints. I'm a little disappointed in some of the others in the picture. Like, Jade, you didn't have to do that. It doesn't make as much sense to me. And yeah, it makes me sad. It makes me sad because it looks like such a punching down moment. You know what it's like? You look at the guys like Tyler Glass now for the Dodgers in this World Series we just watched, and Teoscar Hernandez, who came from the Toronto Blue Jays, and both in the locker room. Glass now came from the Tampa Bay Rays, and then you've also got, of course, Blake Snell came over from the Tampa Bay Rays as well, and they were saying this stuff after they won the championship, like, if you can't beat them, join them. I thought that was the pettiest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. If you can't beat them, join them. And that's what this WWE picture just bleeds through. It's like, if you can't beat them, join them. It just makes me sad. I think it's silly. I think it's goofy. I think it's way goofier than ever breaking up that stupid throne with the sledgehammer, or any shot that AEW has taken punching up at WWE. This is silly. This is beating up on the little guy. This is beating up on the underdog. This is
Does this
bullying.
have to be a diss?
It is. It is a diss. It's obviously a diss.
Why can't it just be 4 friends who are happy for each other, who have trained together over the last few years, who have had a shared journey?
Get one more person in the photo. Just anybody else. Get Trick Williams in the photo.
Why would Trick Williams be there?
I don't know. Somebody else. Get anyone but those 4. It's so obvious. It's so tongue in cheek. It's so petty, and it's so silly to me because it is the most tongue in cheek, passive aggressive. I'd rather see aggressive than passive aggressive every day of my life, and this was nothing short of passive aggressiveness.
Do you know why I don't think it's an AEW diss? Because if it was an AEW diss, I believe 2 other people would be there, right? Because Ricky Saints is there and he wasn't scheduled. I think Ethan Page and Blake Monroe would have been there too with their titles if it was an AEW diss.
They just took the same picture. They took the same picture in NXT. So yeah, if we edit it, we can all use Photoshop. Absolutely.
So in order for the diss to make sense, we have to be getting on Photoshop.
Throw everything away. Podcast Grifter is going to try to argue that AEW is not an underdog because it's a privately owned company by a billionaire. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is hilarious. By the way, so is your point, Podcast Grifter, that they're actually the favorites, that they should beat WWE? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm with you there, man. They should beat them, right? I mean, they've got that big boy billionaire, huh? What? What are you saying? That is absurd. No. The publicly traded company that's owned by the giant conglomerate, it's Wall Street traded, is the favorite over the privately owned in Florida. It's like not even sniffing. That is the worst comment, Podcast Grifter. We've been buddies for a long time you've ever had on this show.
Not only that, Endeavor's now owned by the 3rd biggest company in the world.
Yes. That is basically so far off base. That is so far off base. It's hilarious.
It's literally they're owned by a trillion dollar corporation if they wanted to in Silver Lake or whatever it's called. They're honestly, I don't know.
No, thank you, Matt Williams. WWE with the TKO deal is the gritty underdog. Yeah, they are. Shoot, they just got no more resources.
Oh gosh. I mean, I do agree with Podcast Grifter. Jade, Cody, and Punk were at the event. They can take a picture together if they want. Are photos now illegal, Clark?
Yes. If you're gonna take a shot like that, they're illegal now, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And WWE's a massive underdog against the big bad guys over at AEW.
Oh gosh. That's made you laugh a lot more than.
Sorry, it just got me so like, what? There's no.
Oh gosh.
Swing and a miss.
But talking about underdogs, we need to talk about Sydney Sweeney for a minute. I mean, I don't know why she's an underdog either, to be honest with you. I don't know what makes Sydney Sweeney an
Speaking of underdogs, what are you doing? Huge, massive Cinderella story, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh gosh.
Lifelong underdog, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh gosh, right, okay. I want to do an ad read to calm myself down for a second, guys, because we have got a lot of great content coming up this week. There was no Allison analysis today, but it will be back next week. I'm sorry about that, guys. A few things come up this week. It was a bit of a busy one. But what we will have is tomorrow a top 10 options with me and Clark, where we are giving top 10 options to retire John Cena. Then on Friday, we've got our top 5 takes of the week. Plus, we are going to be starting trialing a new daily highlights video series as well, which you're going to be seeing on the YouTube in the upcoming days. But now back to the show, back to Sydney Sweeney, because Natalia did an interview of our great friends over at Huge Pop Radio, and during it, she revealed who she wants to play her in a potential biopic. And one of the people who she named, and who the first person which she did name, was Sydney Sweeney. She said that they've got a lot of the similar attributes to each other, as well as she thought her acting in her latest movie as a boxer was very good. So clearly she likes to get her hands dirty, and clearly she'd be very good at this. Clark, I saw that laugh. What is that laugh about you?
Oh, just the way that you said that they're the similarities. Never mind. I actually agree.
Her term was, we both have similar attributes. That was exactly what she said. Those aren't my words. Those are her words.
I think it makes sense because of the combat sports movie aspect of this. Sydney Sweeney's proven she can handle the physicality and things like that. I have no problem with it. I didn't know that like Natty was getting a biopic anytime soon. I love that. I think the book is delightful. I'm halfway through thus far, and I love it. like Natty is really, really, really great and a super talented writer. So that's where also the creativity that I see so far and what I've read in the book is off the charts. So if she can envision something like that in a biopic style picture where Sydney Sweeney, she sees playing herself as herself, I'd be inclined to believe Natty, because I'm blown away actually by how really, really, really well done the book is. The stories are not only entertaining, but they all sort of like link together in a really nice way. It is one of the more well-written professional wrestling books that I've read in quite some time, and I do have to give flowers absolutely where they're due, because Natty is an absolute legend. No debate about that. But the book provided some serious insight.
I thought for a second, Clark, you were going to go full Ashanti the Adonis for a second.
No, not at all.
When you said I didn't know she was going to biopic.
Well, I just like that's where I was
one.
a little bit like. I mean, that does seem like the book just came out.
Yeah, well,
it was a big leap. I like the hypothetical, but it was a big leap.
I actually think it would be really good, because purely for the fact that she grew up obviously in a really famous wrestling family, but no real females in her family had made it big. And like she had like the shoes of the legends to fill. Like, I actually think that would be a really interesting perspective to see her growing up rather than once she's made it.
I would truthfully say, of all of the WWE women's legends, that Natty probably, in my eyes, makes the most sense for a biopic.
And Paige has already had one.
Well, Paige had one before she was even. Zelina Vega was like in that movie.
She was.
Like, it's unbelievable, actually, if you really think about it. I mean, I think, yeah, of who hasn't already had a biopic. Let's go there, Ben. I would argue that Natty or maybe Becky Lynch would be the top two candidates.
Oh, Becky would be a good one. I like the idea.
Yeah, heck of a biopic. And then the other one I would add
too.
The other one I would Charlotte's a good one, but I actually, who might be my number one, and I like, because I like doing it in reverse order like that, Bianca Belair. If you look at her upbringing and then collegiate athletic career, and just how much she changed her own life by being so dedicated and such an incredible athlete, and then figuring it out in the WWE so quickly and being so talented. I think Bianca's would be the most fascinating. I like the first act of the movie being about her career at University of Tennessee would be off the charts.
Yeah, no, it would be. Matt Williams is having none of this in the comments, by the way. He's saying that Natty and Sweeney look nothing alike. Look, I mean, I'll just say it straight up, right? It's clearly what she meant. It's so clearly what she meant. They're both blonde. They both have certain things in certain areas. I mean, that's what it is. That's what she meant by it when it came to they look alike. But also, Sydney Sweeney can go when it comes to a physical, thing in a movie.
Certain areas, that was the most nonchalant.
Well, look, I don't know how more PC I can say it.
Come on now, boss. Certain things. Yeah, no,
that's what she meant. Come on, that's what she meant.
Hey,
certain attributes.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, but guys, we have a run-in to save us from this monstrosity. We have Desmond. How are you, Des?
I'm here. I've been summoned. It's time to talk. I'm back. It was fun seeing you guys chop it down. Sydney Sweeney, I gotta say, out of all my time being a wrestling fan, I never thought it would be a topic on a wrestling show. But you know what? That's the love of professional wrestling, and that's why we do it.
I thought you were going to get into Sydney Sweeney for a second.
I thought you were going to go for it, too. DCX Warlord. By the way, Matt Williams and DCX Warlord both with two of the comments of the day, Ben. I'm sorry, we can't move on without this.
I don't even know if that's PG
or truth. And then, yes, hypothetical biopic about Matt Williams' life. He wants The Rock to play him.
Yeah, probably as accurate as anybody else. Yeah.
I mean, he's only 6'6", 265.
You know,
Just like Matt Williams, to be fair. Right, anyway, up next, guys, let's do a Mount Rushmore. If you've not seen this show before, Mount Rushmore is where we all give our top 4 about something. It's like a snake draft, so we can't take the same picks. And this time, it is wrestlers who could be politicians. Basically, wrestlers who look, talk, sound like politicians, whatever. The only rule is they have to, 1, still be alive, and secondly, not be a politician. If they're a politician, that's cheating, doesn't count.
Oh, I can't take
so-
Jesse Ventura?
No, you can't.
No,
I
he's already
clarified
been
that in the group
politician.
chat.
Shoot.
Oh, gosh.
No
Without
pain
further
either.
ado, guys, this is a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers who look like they could be politicians. I'll kick us off with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, this guy looks, talks, sounds like a politician. In fact, I think he's going to be a politician, so he's my first round pick. Clark, who are you taking?
I'm taking Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He ran for president. I don't know if you remember. This guy is a politician.
Oh, yeah. Super realistic. Super realistic there.
Yep.
Des, what about you?
I'm gonna take it with John Cena, the Never Seen 17.
Really?
Yeah, Cena would be a great politician, man. If someone's feeling down, he says never give up, rise above hate, Big Mac John, all that. It'd be very motivating.
And then when he gets in a controversy for saying something he shouldn't, and he's pressured, he takes it back and issues an apology in another language. But
Or he does this.
Christopher Leclerc says Roxanne Perez. That is a well take on that one. But Des, you are also back up again. Who are you taking?
All right, I'm gonna take the final boss. I'm gonna go with The Rock. I feel like he might actually run for president. Now, I hope he doesn't abandon like he's done storylines, but the final boss has to be on there.
I mean, the Rock, I'm going to be honest, I thought was going to be a first round pick. I thought he was going to go like,
Me too.
I thought Clark was going to take him straight away. But Clark, up next, who are you taking?
I'm taking Chelsea Green. She can save Canadian politics. Nobody needs her more than Canada does right now. Chelsea Green is my second pick.
Chelsea Green.
Not bad. I like it.
All right, fair enough.
She's as political as they get.
Sure.
Yeah, super political. Up next, I am actually going to take somebody who is genuinely really political and take Zack Sabre Jr. I genuinely think this guy's going to run as a politician in the future. He loves to talk about politics. I can definitely see it happening. As for my third round pick, I'm going to go for a little bit of a wild card, guys.
All right.
I'm going to take Bryan Danielson. We know he's very passionate about certain subjects, right? He's a big, when it comes to the environment and stuff like that, he's a great public speaker, and he's also somebody who I think people could really get behind. I could see that happening, but Clark, who is your next pick?
Well, I'm going to take the ultimate glad-hander and good old sandbagger himself, Paul Heyman, the wise man, as my next politician, without question. Heyman for sure.
I was going to take him next round, Clark. Honestly, a really great choice because nobody politics more than he does.
No,
Nobody
he's
lies
the
more than he does
ultimate
in this business.
politicker.
Either.
He's the best at it.
And he sounds so convincing too. Realistically, he should have been the first round pick. He really should have because he's just not a wrestler. So
I got a steal late.
Yeah. But Des, what about you? What is your third and fourth pick?
I'm going to go Chris Jericho for my next pick. The Ayatollah of rock and rolla. I feel like Jericho, especially in 2008, when he had that the rocker haircut, I feel like he'd be a great politician.
I mean, would he be the first rock star to become a politician? Would he?
I feel like it, right? I feel like there's definitely got to be some.
He's up there.
I don't know. I think a lot of rock stars, I think, have too much in the public. But Des, it's back to you again. Who are you taking?
All right, next I'm going to go with Edge or Adam Copeland as my next pick. I feel like Edge would be also a great politician because he's the ultimate opportunist. He can take advantage when it needs to be done.
You are right there. You are bang on, Clark. Who are you taking as your final pick?
I am going to go with R-Truth as my final pick because short-term memory issues are a key attribute when it comes to politics. And he can forget when he gets criticized in the future.
That's great. I love that. My bad.
He'll forget what he had said, and we'll be good to go. I got R-Truth for my final pick.
My final pick, I want to clarify, I don't even believe these reports. I'm a big fan of her, but I've got to do it just for the Instagram comments. Taking Mercedes Monet. I actually think she'd be quite a good politician, to be honest with you.
She would be good.
But does do a lot of politicking if our comment section is to be believed, and it's not to be believed. She's actually great. I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah.
But Des one for real, says Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
David Atonga says, Angie, that's a great shout, actually. Although, did he get involved? I don't actually know. He might have already.
Tonga might unfortunately be eliminated from the list because I think he did actually like run for something.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
No, I thought because he had his law degree, he did something like in the judicial system. I don't know if you know, there's checks and balances, 3 systems. We'll go over that on the next show, Des. Jeez Louise. do your history.
Next week on Politics Republic. But... oh my god.
Legislative, the executive, they made the song about it.
They did.
The reason I decided for this topic for today is because obviously New York has a new mayor, Zoran. And of course Trump. He's the president of the United States, right? Mm-hmm. And they were getting into a little bit of Twitter beef last night. And I don't know if you guys know this, Zoran, massive professional wrestling fan. Trump, obviously a massive professional wrestling fan as well. Yeah. So I think, guys, there's only one way to sort this beef between the two. WWE. And that brings us to the end of the show, guys. Thank you to Des. Thank you to Clark. We will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.